But what I want to know is like, what encouraged you to get into photography? Because obviously you said you started when you was in Liverpool, so when you was at university, which is similar way I started when I did do photography. But what encouraged you to go down the photography path?
I think for me, I was just around 18-ish, and I felt like at that point you feel the need to express yourself in one way or the other. And everyone else was busy doing. So it's like everybody else was doing other stuff. And it made sense for me because a lot of times when I was free, I was probably alone. And when you're alone, there's not much stuff you can probably draw. I can't draw. So that was out of I can't sing either. So that was not an option. So I'm like, and I think it also gives the opportunity to like discover the city. So I had to move around, and then I think for me at that point I was focused on trying to get stuff everyone sees, but from a different angle and all of that. But so there was like a lot of trash pictures. But then at that point, I mean, to be honest, in hindsight, some of my favorite pictures are very basic. But then at that point, it felt so fantastic. So for me, it was like a way of expressing myself. And then I used to have an IG page.
Yeah.
With a friend. It was called Lens and Art. I don't know if it still exists because she created the page and then I think I lost password and we're not talking anymore. So I never had access to the page anymore. Okay. But then, so what it was like pictures of stuff that happened in like places in Liverpool. So it was like an opportunity for me to like integrate with the city. Of course, people didn't know who was taking the pictures, but then it felt like I was closer to people who lived in the city, even though they actually didn't know who I was. So I feel like that encouraged me to actually stay in it longer than when I started. I wasn't interested in taking pictures of people because people are a mess, and like I'm not like people are a mess, but it's when you're quite young, it's quite hard to navigate relationships with people because I realized people started inviting me to like events. It's like I'm having a dinner for my birthday. You should come along. And it's like we're not even that close.
But you want
and then last minute, like, when you come, please don't forget your camera. I'm like, oh god.
It's like, oh, you're not inviting me because you like me. You're inviting me because you want
exactly. Like, yeah.
No, I do hear that. I do definitely hear that because even with me, like when I started, it was kind of a similar thing, but it was a good way to network. Like it depends how you look at it. Like if you're trying to, when I started photography, I was I don't do it anymore, but when I started, I went in with the mindset of, okay, I want to build something on here. So when people would invite me to things, I would just be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And then you could use that to kind of build your portfolio. And it was a good way to network. Obviously, I can understand where it's like, if people are trying to do it in like a sneaky way, where it's like, oh yeah, you should come. Oh yeah, but bring your camera. And then I get that. But I didn't mind it too tough, but yeah, go on.
I didn't like that so much, but I think my worst experience was someone invited me somewhere I shouldn't have been. And then they were like, when you're coming, bring your camera. And so I purposely did not bring my camera. And halfway I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my camera. And she's like, oh, it's fine. We have a spare camera here.
You tried it.
I tried. I was like, oh no. Well, I mean, now I don't mind as much. It's just, I feel like as long as there are boundaries, like I'm a person, so don't overdo it. But aside from that, I don't mind much anymore.
But now photography is like, it's a profession for you. Like before, it was a way to express yourself. And like you said, explore the city. But now it is a profession for you, no?
It's close to profession. I mean, I do it on the side. I think my biggest fear is something that brings so much joy or it's personal to you. The last thing you want to do to it is be in a space where it frustrates you or you don't get the joy from doing it anymore. So it's like if it's a business, it could actually be a fantastic business. But then if it's a business and it's not working out, that's a possible way to lose the interest in photography because the moment your hobby becomes a choice, like I guess it's similar to like playing football for a lot of people. Playing football is fun. Yeah. But then if I have to wake up at 5:30 to train every morning, I probably would not like it as much anymore. Okay. So yeah. So for now, of course I charge, but I'm actively trying to. I want to be in a space where the stuff I create, I don't create it for a commercial purpose. So it's more like I want to create this art, not because I'm doing it because I need to get paid or all of that. So I'm not there yet because I'm still broke. I still live with my parents. So so
Nothing wrong with that,
yeah.
man. But it's interesting that you say that, because like I feel like that is one thing that can be quite common in a lot of people, where you start things where you're doing it kind of for yourself, like you said, to express yourself, show your vision, and then it gets to a point where it feels like a chore. Because similar thing for me, I was that's like the reason why I stopped, is because it felt like I wasn't I hate handling social media, and it felt like every time I uploaded, I wasn't doing it for me anymore. I was doing it for the people, because then you think about, oh, the hashtags, like uploading at a certain time, the consistency, and yeah, it just gets to a point where it is becoming frustrating. And then also it's like the clientele, when people contact you and then they cancel and stuff. So I do get that. I think that's very interesting that you said that, because I guess it's interesting to see that it's quite a common feeling between different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting.